Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. Welcome to the flight. Eastbird's good to see you. Hope you are having a good day. It's Mother's Day for everyone in countries that observe that, 9th of May. And we are here in Quito, Ecuador. We're heading down to Lima, Peru. Once again, we've got Nick joining us. He's in the other LATAM Star Wars livery just down the way. We've got an American Airlines 737 taking off. You can see him in the back there. Just heading down the runway now. So it's not a long flight. It's just under 2 hours. Of course, we'll have in-flight entertainment for the trip. Once we get up into the air, the weather's okay. You can see it's kind of touching the mountaintops to the east there. Down in Peru right now, it's kind of fogged in, so hopefully that'll clear by the time we get there. But at the moment, we are pretty good to go. So let's hop on board and we can start getting the aircraft set up. This is, of course, the fly-by-wire experimental. I'm not running the developer version. I'm kind of like what I've got here right now, so I'll wait for them to come out with the new one with the VNav and all that stuff in it. We'll just go in, we'll get our information into the flight pad, and we will pull up our flight plan just to get it in there so it's ready to go. One thing I'm going to do, forgot to make a note of it, I just want to write down my center of gravity here, my percentage 30.17, and that will help with my trim, which I'm going to look up right now. So 30.2 is 0.4 down. 0.4 down. All right. Sorry about that. So let's go through our setup here. So parking brakes are on. Battery switches coming on. APU is off. APU master is off. External power is on. Landing gear lever is down. Flaps are retracted and speed brakes are retracted. Engine fuel controls are in cutoff. Igniter switch is in normal. Anti-ice is off. Window heating is off. This is the wrong checklist. Too many aircraft, too many checklists. I was doing some testing with the new heavy 787 yesterday, and that was the checklist for there. All right, let's try this again. So we're pretty much set to go. So batteries 1 and 2 are on, external power is on, active brake pressure is checked. Cockpit lights, we'll get the lights up and going. So got some new hardware in the cockpit here for this flight. This is my first full flight with my new Honeycomb Bravo Throttle Quadrant. I have done a little bit of testing with it yesterday. This is going to be my first flight with it. So we'll see how that goes. Expecting good things as always. And we'll get the overhead. There we are. Alright, APU fire test. Captain B, good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. APU fire test is done. Crew oxygen supply is on. Cockpit voice recorder test is done. ADIRs are coming on. External lights, we have the nav and landing lights on. We'll get the seatbelt lights on. The no portable devices on. Emergency exits are armed. Of course, that now means that we can start boarding. So cabin crew, we can begin boarding when ready. Oop. Forgot that would pop up there. Again, all these little things you kind of forget to do at times that you do need to do. Alright, so let me get the cabin crew loading. So we had 169 passengers today. And what you'll find is in the overhead it says SPIM, which is a little bit different from what we're actually using in the description. That's because they just changed the ICAO code at the airport and it hasn't been updated yet, so that's fine. So we've got the passengers coming on board. Thanks, Eastbird. Yeah, Latin America, that's why I'm doing this. Haven't done a lot of flying down here, and I figure mountains, jungles, and weather, it can't get much better than that. So everyone's getting up on probe and window heats are in auto. Aircraft temperatures, well, we are down here near the equator, so it's going to be warm, so we'll get the air going. In the back, ECAM page is good. We'll do the fire tests. There's engine 1, engine 2. Flight director's coming on. And the barrow. So, the current weather. And I will post it in the chat. Is 1026. So we'll dial that in. I'm going to set it into standby as well. You can see our elevation here. We are up fairly high, which is why they have long runways up here. EFIS is set 10 arc and off. You're going to go to 40 on the arc. And there were no restrictions speed-wise or altitude-wise. We are going up to 37,000 for our cruise, so we're just going to dial that direct. Now, get it in. Get you on and you on. Well, we'll get you before we go on the takeoff. So we are on VatSim as always. So we're going to go 122.8. For the radio. We're going to start our virtual airline tracking since this is a virtual airline tour. And here we go. And 122.8 is set in the comms. And over to the MCDU we go. So let's get our view in. So flight plan coming in from Cinebrief. You can see the SPJC code in here. SPIM is the older one. Everything is looking good. Cost index is not 8. Cost index is 25. The Throttle today, it's a little bit different. It's 55918. Set that in. There we go. Not really. Well, the wind right now, as you can see, the winds are almost nothing, so there's nothing really going on. So we don't have to worry too much about that. You would be aware of mechanical turbulence. You'd probably get, if this was real life with ATC, you'd probably get them telling you that aircraft have reported wind shear or buffeting. And that's something that pilots do. They'll report back, hey, on takeoff, just let others know that there's heavy buffeting as you come out of 1,000 feet above the ground or whatever. You get it that way. The airport here is basically sitting in a U of mountains with the open end facing north, which is the way we came in on the last flight. And then we circled around and landed to the north. So I think unless the winds were really strong, you'd always take off to the north to get out of the through the low mountain area. But yeah, you just be conscious of the winds with the wind speed and the direction, and expect turbulence and buffeting.
Cabin crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard our flight. As you find your seat, be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead
so let's go on to Init B.
If you have trouble finding a location for any of your carry-on
Zero
items,
fuel weight today is 58.8.
over your seat and somebody
and
will assist
our
you.
center
If
of
the overhead bin
gravity
is full after you put your carry-on inside of it, please close
is
the bin as a courtesy to other
30.1.
passengers. Once all your items are put away, please clear the aisle and sit down in your seat to allow other passengers to find their seats as well. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please leave the exit
6.6
seat
tons is our block
responsibility
fuel.
to the
We'll take a
safety
look
card
at
in the
what's
seat
loaded
back in
into the
front of you.
airplane. That's
Please
exactly
make
what
sure
it
you are willing
says.
and able to perform the actions required. If you are not able or prefer not to perform
And our
these
trip
actions,
wind is
please
a
let a flight
tailwind of
attendant
12.
know so you can be reseated. You are free to use your portable electronic devices during the boarding process. We ask that larger electronic devices
So
are
this
stowed
is saying we
once you
should have a
depart from the gate.
minimum
Thank
fuel
you
of
and welcome
1.8
aboard.
tons on arrival. This is saying we should have 2.7 tons on arrival. I'm using the new fuel calculations for the fly-by-wire mod and the new SimBrief A320, and I've set my fuel factor to a plus 7, so we should be pretty much bang on. If I can remember, and chat if you can remind me, when we get to Lima, we'll do a check on that fuel, see how close we are. All right, so let's go to the route. So the route today, we are going to be departing off runway 36, and our departure is going to be via the Quito to Alpha, and we will insert that in there. Our predicted arrival down in Lima will be the ILS Zulu for runway 15. So we'll go in, and it will be the ILS Zulu for 15. There's the bottom one there. And then the arrival is the ATC 2. It's almost a straight in arrival. It's pretty impressive. Now, where is Lobus? Is that what we want? Yep, that works. So in on Lobus, there we go. So that's our flight plan in. As soon as the adheres are aligned, we'll take a look at it and see what we got, and then we'll do our briefing as well. Now we can go to our initialization page, our performance page, get that set up. Transition altitude here is 18,000 feet. 18000. Hey Captain Maddie, how are you today? It's going to be a flaps 1 at the takeoff, and our trim is 0.4 down. And we are flexing today, funny enough. It's a flex of 64. Alright, so that gives us a 132, 133, probably 136, 137. Alright, so that is all now entered in. And we are aligned. So let's take a look at the route, just see if it matches what we think we're going to be doing here. Zoom in. So you can see we're going to be taking off to the north, doing a left-hand kind of extended turnout to get out and above the mountains. And then we fly down the west coast of South America, and it's basically a straight in. You can see it there. Straight in and into the runway. So that is all matching up very nice. 1 hour, 50 minutes of airtime is what we got lined up for us today. So we should be able to clear that. Still on 122.8. We'll go back over here. We're still loading in. Everyone is getting up. Whoa.
We're on your time now.
All right, so everybody is on board. We have bags and catering are all on board. So we'll just do our brief of the route, and then we can get ready to go. Just closing some stuff I don't need anymore. All right. So let me open up Navigraph, and I'll bring up the chart. So here we go. Let's take a look at the airport first. So here's the airport. We came down the west side, the left side, and did that circling arc, and then landed when we came in here. We're going to be taking off on runway 36, which is to the north. So our departure today, you can see, We're going to be taking off. We're going to be going up to the gap in the mountains here. And then at Ilpix, making a hard left, heading up the center, and then at Quito, which will take us up over the mountains. You can see the high spots we have here. I'm doing good, Captain Matty. Thank you very much. We have this mountain here at almost 19,257 feet. So we're going to be going to the east or west of that. You can see the peaks. And when we came in, we flew along this edge here of the mountains, descending, and then we came in and landed. So this is what we'd have to deal with if we took off to the south, is trying to figure out a way out of here. There are a couple departures that do deal with this, but because we don't have any wind, we're going to go to the north and out. And then if we go to our route, you can see we're just going to go down here to Ecuador and basically do a straight shot south down to the coast in Peru and then down to Lima. And that is the route for today. We'll debrief, or we'll brief the arrival when we get a bit closer to Lima, Peru itself. Should be good. Should get some great views out of here once we get out, see the clouds above the mountain. The flight is 1 hour and 52 minutes of airtime. It's about 2.5 hours gate to gate. So not the longest flight. I do have, as always, some entertainment lined up for once we get up and going. And oh, just got a question from Nick. Yeah, so I had a problem with the Fly Live overlay on the top of the screen with SPJC, but I did a lookup on Google, and the actual airport is it used to be SPIM, which is still recognized by a lot of the software. So it looks like SPJC is the new one, SPIM is the old one. So we should be good there. So I think we're good to go. Everybody's in, the MCU's done. RadNav page. Do I want to set anything up on there? Let's go back to the charts. No, these are nav waypoints, our GPS waypoints, so we're good there. IFR clearance we'll take as received. There is no ATC up at this airport. Flight plan we reviewed. EFIS is set. Takeoff briefing is done. We're going to squawk. I'm going to go to 2,000 on the squawk. There we go. It's kind of like the basic IFR squawk in North America. We'll use it down here as well. So I think we're ready for the startup. So let's get the APU up and going. And 3 seconds. So all weights are entered in, and our takeoff performance is done. V speeds 132, 133, and 137. I have 132 blue, 137 magenta, 37,000 feet in blue in the altitude, QNH 1026, and then everything is looking good there. And APU is coming up 72%. Air conditioning is on. Outside air temperature is currently 14 degrees, so it's not too bad. We are kind of elevated. Not as warm as we think it is. There we go. APU's at 100%, so APU bleeds can come on. Hear the fans kick in as the bleed air starts pushing, and external power is now disconnected. Alright, so windows and doors are locked. Cabin cockpit door is locked. Fuel pumps coming on. Beacon is coming on. Transponder is on. TCAS is on standby. And we are ready for push. Takeoff for eastward. Sorry, I don't have the charts to determine that. I will tell you it will be significantly longer than it would be down at sea level. Not sure how much longer, unfortunately. Quito area traffic, TAM 5556, pushing back from gate 11, facing south. Alright, let's get a hold of ground and get them to work.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
And parking brakes coming off.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing back.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 5556. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 52 minutes. Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Flight attendants, please prepare cabin for departure and cross-check.
Alright, so we're going to be pushing back. We don't have far to go. I am going to try to target so I can go out that...
You're clear behind, and you can
Juliet.
start your engines at your discretion.
Alright, igniters over to start, engine 1 starting.
When the seatbelt light is fastened, please make sure that your seatbelts are fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the entire flight as we may experience unexpected turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor-level lighting will guide you towards the exit. In the event that the cabin loses pressure, an oxygen mask will drop right in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth and secure the elastic band behind your head. Tighten the straps if necessary and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask first and then assist others. Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it's safe to remove it. In the unlikely event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests.
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes, please.
And remove the vest. Switch
Parking
over
brakes
your
set.
Roger.
Wrap the straps around your
Okay,
waist
the
and
tow
buckle
bar
at
is
the front.
disconnected and the
Pull the
equipment
straps
is
tight.
clear. We
When
will
placing
see
the
you
vest,
on the
pull
right
firmly
side
on the
with
red
a beam.
cord only once
Thanks, and you
in
can
the
disconnect
mouth.
and go to hand signals.
If your
Thanks,
life
have a
vest
good
does
flight.
not
See you
inflate
later.
Kind of missed the
automatically,
taxiway,
lower
but
the
that's
mouth
fine.
to
We're going to
from
go
an
out that
angle
way.
inflation.
Nick's got
This
plenty of
vest
room
is
to push
equipped with a
back.
whistle and light. If necessary, your
So,
seat
good
cushion
start
can
on
be used as a
engine
secondary
number
for
1,
using
starting
light.
engine number 2.
Pull the cushion from the seat, slip your arms into the straps, and hug the cushion to your chest.
Sorry, bang the mic. Alright, so that's coming up.
And town 1880 radio check.
Loud and clear.
Thanks so much.
Alright, so that's engine 2 up and running. So we've got N1s of 20.9, exhaust gas temperatures are good, N2s are good, fuel flow is good, and our PSIs and vibrations and bleed air are all in the green. So everything is good there. So igniters can come off to back to normal, and APU bleed off, APU off, and anti-ice is required. We do not need anti-ice. Yeah, the clouds look really good. I was watching them earlier and just loving the way they're coming over the tops of those clouds to the east. So before taxi checklist, auto brakes go to max, spoilers armed, flaps to take off, flaps 1, engine anti-ice not required, control check. It's full left, full right, neutral, full forward, full back, neutral, left rudder, right rudder, neutral. Steering pin is confirmed removed on the ECAM pitch trim. As we said, it's 4 down. So I'm gonna go to 2, 3, 4 down on the pitch trim. Rudder trim is 0 and confirmed 0. And we are good there. So up we go. Taxi light will come on.
We're prepared for takeoff.
Cabin is ready for takeoff. Nick did a better job on his pushback than I did. It's because I was out staring out the windows. So taxi light is on, and we are good to taxi. Quito traffic, TAM 5556 taxiing to runway 36 via Juliet Alpha and holding short 36. Alright. So we'll do our config check. And when we get on Alpha, we'll ding the cabin, let them know they can start getting ready to take a seat. So, parking brake is removed. And coming up on the throttles. Like I said, we're going to go off to the right here. There we go. The speed a little bit. She'll probably want to take off like she usually does. Little patches of sunlight on those foothills, and then those dark clouds coming in over the eastern part of the hills. I say hills, but we're already 7. Oh, I'm on Bravo. Okay. We'll go down here coming up. 8,000 feet here, so we're pretty high up. Yeah, he did. He was a little quiet at first, but he came in afterwards when he gave his pushback. There he is over there, doing his pre-taxi checks. So live time, live weather here in South America. Not sure what time zone they're in. It's probably closer to
TAM 1880, taxi to runway 365 Bravo, Echo and Alpha.
What time is it here? 10:30 here. It's probably 8:30 in the morning. Maybe 9:30. I'm not sure how many hours behind they are, but it's pretty close to the time I'm in. So I figure we'll leave it live time, live weather. Makes for some good flying over here. So we'll get it here onto Alpha. a little bit of a push. We're on a hill. Central, so it's an hour, so it'll be 9:30 here. Let's ding the cabin, and then I'll answer your question.
Camera proceeds for takeoff, please.
You can see I'm on there's a bit of an uphill here, which is why the speed is keeping reasonable. If I was dead level and had this thing in idle, we would get up to about 25 knots. So it's there is a little bit of a thing where this thing wants to giddy up and go. For long taxis, do single engine. That'll keep it under control. But basically, I'm on a hill right now, so that's how I'm managing to control it. And I just use the brakes. If it gets up over 20, I'll just hit the brakes and bring her back under, and then just let her coast again until she goes over. And it does keep speeding up. But with the sloped runways and the ground train changes and everything, now you can be going downhill, uphill on your taxis as well. So we're starting to speed up a little bit there. Yeah, I don't like that view when I go that way. I don't like the way the engine sounds cut out. There we go. There's Nick behind us. Beautiful sun on the western mountains there. Yeah, just remember, like Gavin always says, you need 3 minutes to warm up the oils and everything in the engine. So you kind of, when you start up the second engine, you do got to go to a chrono and type in 3 minutes to give you that time. And you can sometimes hear it in real life if you're listening to air traffic control. An airplane will say, "I need a minute," which means they're waiting for that time to pass to get that engine up and going. And then there's the whole thing about the yellow hydraulics for steering pressure and all that stuff that you got to do. Alright, you see we're starting to roll on the flat now. My speed's crept up to 90 and I'm in idle, or in 19. And I'm currently in idle, so. Alright, so here we are. For those of you who watched the first leg when we came down here, coming in on that circle approach, well, it wasn't really a circling approach, but on the approach coming in, we were in and out of the clouds by the mountains the entire way down, which made it kind of exciting. All right, so we'll put the brakes on. Let's take a look over. There's Nick coming up. Okay, so we are ready for a before takeoff checklist. So cabin crew's been notified. Exterior lights are all coming on. Strobe lights. Come on. That's right, got one of my, got to clear a couple of switches. Some of these things are pre-programmed, and one of them buttons is for the strobes, which I'm not going to use the button on that, so Go in and clear that. Nose light is on takeoff. Anti-ice not required. We'll see about when we get further into the air packs. I'm going to leave on. TCAS is on and above. Weather radar is on. PWS is on. Weather mode is fine. Takeoff memo, no blue. No, actually, it's not the switch on the Yoke. That one never bothered it. It's the one that it's the one on the throttle quadrant. It comes preset with the lights and stuff on that one too, and I've got to disable it. Anyway, Quito traffic, TAM 5556, taking position runway 36. Said the winds are there coming out of the west, but the NOTAM says the winds are pretty much non-existent. Alright. Parking brakes off. Come up on the engines. Hello, Fight Fan. How are you today? Let's get her around. Yeah, just in time for takeoff. And next, moving into position. Alright, so clock is running, engines to 50%. Heading indicator into nav mode. Down pressure on the yoke, brakes are released. And thrust to flex. Man flex. See how slow our roll is.
Quito traffic, TAM 1880, lining up, runway 36.
It's 100 knots. Again, we're at higher altitude, so it's going to take a while to get up to speed, and it's going to take a while to get off the ground. So there we go. Climbing up. Positive rate, gear up. Throttles are in climb. Nose coming down for acceleration. And autopilot on. We're going to let her follow the course, the track we want. Terrain radar is on.
2,500. 2,500.
I don't know why she's in vertical speed. I don't want her in vertical speed mode. There we go. Getting up over the hills. Some beautiful views. And you can see Nick at the end of the runway getting ready to go. See a bit of the shape of the valley we came into when we came in and landed here last week. Alright. Speed's coming up. Flaps up.
And TAM 1880 is rolling.
Very nice climbing out of the mountains. No, I had the packs on. I knew there was a fairly long runway here, so I wasn't too worried about the distance and everything. Heading into the clouds. Keeping an eye on that terrain. For the most part, it seems to be off to our east. Making that turn now, so I'm going to turn the landing lights off and the taxi lights off. And the wing lights, we'll just leave the main lights on now. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Fantastic view.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated and do not congregate in the galleys or near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. If you wish to connect to the Wi-Fi, you'll be directed to a page to pay a small fee for internet access. We do offer complimentary in-flight TV thanks to our partners. Connect to the Wi-Fi and you'll be able to access our wide range of free live TVs and safe movie library.
There we go. So we're now making our turn towards the south.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when seen in the case of unexpected turbulence.
Beautiful view of the mountains down here. So we're clear of any of the hazards that we'd have to worry about. And we are climbing away normally. It is going to be bumpy a bit, obviously with the mountains and everything. Where should I fly? Pick a place you've never been. That's like I said, that's why I'm down here in South America. I haven't done a lot of flying down here. I figured it'd be pretty cool to see it and see what it's all about. And I mean, last week's flight was awesome as we came in the clouds and down through the mountains and some great scenery. I think I saw Nick down there climbing out. So we're still on the departure. We should be coming up to transition altitude, and then we've got the leg to Quito, and that takes us out the final bit, and we'll be done. So we'll go over to standard pressure. And we'll keep climbing out. Yeah, on Monday nights, that's where I'm flying. I've done currently in Taipei, and the leg tomorrow night is Taipei to Hong Kong. And I have changed the time I'm doing it. So it will be 2100 Zulu So I've made it about 4 hours earlier. 3 hours earlier than I was doing it. So tomorrow night, 2100 Zulu will be the next leg on my Asia tour. Here we go, we're climbing out. Still no ATC on, so it's looking pretty quiet. Alright, so everything's good. Seatbelt signs are off. Portable devices signs are off. Oop. Ground spoilers are still armed. Disarm those. Got to remember now that I've got the lever on the throttles, I can do it when I go gear up. Just reach over and deal with that. Alright. So we are on our way. I don't know if the overhead's going to work. I mean, the overhead recognizes SPIM, but the SIM doesn't. So it's got the old letters. It's going to be interesting. So we're making the turn over to Quito for the final leg of the departure, but we're well clear of the mountains, and everything is looking pretty fantastic. Yeah, I think for the most part those legs are shorter flight fans, so should only be like an hour and a half, 2 hours of flying. Anyway, let's take a look out this side for this one. Let me throw up the VFR map so see where we are. Look at the tracking going. And I'll bring up the entertainment. So I'll be in the chat. And first off, I'm gonna go make myself a cup of tea, and then I'll be right back.
Dr. Mason? Dr. Mason? I'm sorry, I guess it was nothing. A sudden light reflection. It startled me.
There's no doubt a comet or a meteor.
No, it seemed to be a drill-shaped thing. Revolving. No, it must have been my imagination. It makes me realize how desperately alone Earth is. Hanging in space like a speck of food floating in the ocean. Sooner or later to be swallowed up by some creature floating by.
Oh, come now.
Time will tell, Dr. Mason. We can only wait and wonder. Wonder how. Wonder when.
Report preliminary findings.
Thor reporting. 42 saturation degrees and 96 volumes. Intermediate fluctuation in Marfan content.
Derek reporting. Tridex mixer components ratio exceeding 7 to 1.4.
Morrow reporting. Diagonal adjustment reading resisting structural forms by 2.8.0 vernums.
Saul reporting. Uneven cartoid levels intersect planes below 0.03.
Surface readings register above minimum requirements. Morrow, go below and bring up the young Gargan specimen. Now the decision depends on its reactions.
Wait, Captain. I have found evidence of intelligent beings on this planet.
Of what concern are foreign beings?
Of none to you, Thor. Just as you were so unconcerned when you destroyed the small creature. So bravely.
It was no more than an insect.
But it had life. And that life you had to take to satisfy your endless hunger for killing.
Silence, both of you! Proceed, bring the Gargan.
That will not be necessary, Captain. Conditions here will be reported as unsatisfactory, as they were on the other planets we have charted.
By what authority?
You will prepare for takeoff. The ship will leave this planet immediately.
According to our code of operations...
You may forget the code of operations, Captain. Only civilized beings could have made the inscription on this metal piece. We shall not have the thousands of Gargans brought here to destroy them.
You have concern for foreign beings over our mission to locate grazing land for our Gargan herds? Recall, it is necessary as a reserve food supply for our people.
Our people? We live like parts of a machine. We don't know our fathers or mothers were raised in cubicles. The sick and the old are put to death.
It is the one and only way to maintain the supreme race. Have you forgotten it?
Our people have forgotten. They have been made to forget for centuries. But I have learned how it once was. Families, brothers and sisters. There was happiness. There was love.
Of what do you speak? From where have you learned such things?
I have read. I have read from this book. I discovered it and kept it hidden. Somehow it survived the flames of the Annihilators. when our people were turned into mechanized slaves centuries ago.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture and death for this treason.
The High Court may judge me after we have accomplished our mission. We will find an uninhabited planet to which the herds of Gargans may be shipped, without endangering civilized beings.
Let me see that book. I am interested to see what sways your mind so heavily.
You may have it.
Bring up the Gargan. You were a fool, Derek. This book has poisoned your mind, and you shall suffer for it.
Captain, if the Gargans are shipped here, the inhabitants may destroy them. That possibility alone makes it worthwhile to locate an uninhabited planet.
That book has indeed made you forget many things. We are the supreme race. We have the supreme weapons. Keep him under guard, Thor. I will study the reactions of the young Gargan.
Before the High Court has you executed, you should be made to watch what happens when we return here with the Gargans. By the elements alone, they will grow to millions of times their original size in less time than it takes for the sun to rise and fall.
It thrives, Captain. Already I can feel it has grown heavier.
We shall return to our base and lead the transport ships here. Soon this planet will be covered with full-grown Gargans. A safe distance from our planet, yet their meat will be available to us for the harvesting. Repack the instruments. I shall radio back the news of our success.
Captain! Captain, something has gone wrong. Look here.
What? What has happened?
I do not know. It suddenly fell limp, and now does not move.
Assemble the TRSs, hook in the gas grading instruments. Be quick! The atmosphere here tested above minimum, but the Gargan species cannot live due to excessive nitrogenic gas compounds emitted in our preliminary diagnosis.
Then this planet will be reported as unsuitable?
Repack the instruments and prepare for takeoff. We will continue our search in another solar system. And when we return to our home base, you will be presented to the High Court with the evidence against you. Thor, Saul, find the prisoner and prepare him for the isolation chamber. I will make contact with base.
In a few moments, we'll be starting our in-flight service. We will be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look in the seat back for our list of complimentary and premium drinks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. Please note that we only accept credit cards.
Expedition Z06 to base. Expedition Z06 to base.
Guard him. I will get the straps.
Lie down. Put your hands behind you.
He is escaping!
How did he get free?
He escaped from Saul. I could have stopped him.
Derek is to be brought back alive. He is the son of our leader.
Derek?
I reported his actions and was connected with the leader himself. He told me this. He said Derek does not know.
It's the son of our leader. The High Court will pardon him.
He will be pardoned. When the sky is light, we will begin to search for him.
Captain, look at this. The Gargan. It is not dead.
It has revived.
It flourishes. The excessive nitrogenic gas compound shocked its system. Now it thrives on the very same compounds.
Then this planet is suitable.
Completely. I must resume radio vision contact. Morrow, Saul, secure the Gargan by expandable leg bands. Out of sight in that cave. The size it attains by the time we return will give us an exact growth rate to expect of the herds.
At the rate the Gargan is expected to grow, what will prevent it from tearing loose the leg bands and escaping from the cave?
We shall be back before that happens, unless it should receive food in excess of the atmospheric elements. We will leave nothing else for it to consume.
Imagine thousands of beasts like that, millions of times enlarged, roaming over this planet.
They will be harvested from the air, so there will be no danger to us.
Let us be quick. I do not like to look upon it.
Now that you report the planet is suitable for our purposes, you are to return here immediately and prepare to lead the transport ships there. Derek's escape could now mean difficulty in our operation should he communicate in any way with the inhabitants, inferior though they may be.
If we are to return now, how can he be stopped?
Leave your best man to find Derek and inform him he is my son. I will join you on the return trip to meet him there.
He may be stubborn. He has already threatened our lives.
If that becomes the case, he must be destroyed. And any beings with whom he might communicate, they must be destroyed. Your orders are complete.
I shall send my best man.
I heard the orders, Captain. Let me find Derek.
You will wait until the sky is light enough to begin the search. We will leave now and return here to meet you when we bring the Gargans. Do not fail, Thor.
I shall not fail.
Yes, Would you tell me the meaning of the inscription on this metal piece?
Sparky, 1243 Willow Crest Drive. That's just 3 blocks down there and a few doors up. You can't miss it.
Hey, what's what you're doing there?
No, I'm sorry. I was just trying to make out what kind of clothes that guy was wearing. Looks like some kind of military uniform. Wonder where he's from.
Could be from Mars, for all I care. Hurry up that boy, will you? I haven't got all day.
Hop in, I'll give you a lift. Lift? Well, it's a long way into town. Okay, it's all right with me. Wait. Never saw a uniform like that before.
What brings you here?
I am searching for someone.
Maybe I can help you. Know a lot of folks around these parts.
I am searching for someone you could not know.
I put Sparky's breakfast out 20 minutes ago, Grandpa, and it's still here.
He's probably still out chasing gophers.
Hello. You've come to see our room for rent?
What's that?
A fellow to see the room for rent, Grandpa. You show it to him, will you? Joe'll be by for me in a minute. We're going swimming at Alice's, and I haven't even changed yet. Well, come on in. I'm Betty Morgan, and this is my grandpa.
How do you do, son? Just arrived in town? Don't believe I've seen you around before.
I just arrived.
Your name?
Derek.
Derek. The empty room belongs to my brother, Bud. He's married now and lives upstate.
Your brother? You knew your brother?
Did I know my brother? That's a strange question to ask. Grandpa raised us both since we were kids after Mom and Dad died.
I'm sorry, it's just that I never knew any brothers or sisters.
Your mother and father decided to play it smart and avoid a lot of squabbles around the house.
I never knew my mother or father.
Well, let's take a look at the room, and if you like it, you're welcome to stay.
It's this way. I'll show it to you.
Hey, I thought you were getting ready to go swimming.
No, that can wait. Right in here, Derek. I hope you like the view. There's plenty of room.
What's the matter? You act like you've never seen the inside of an automobile before.
What is this?
The gear shift. Where have you been all your life?
The gear shift. Tell me what it is for.
Now look, mister, I didn't offer you a ride to give no driving lessons.
Tell me!
Sure. I didn't mean anything. Here's the clutch. When I push it in, I change gears. Low, second, and high.
And to halt the vehicle?
When I want to stop, I press the brake. Right here.
And this?
The starter and ignition switch.
And the fuel, what does it use?
Are you kidding? Gasoline, of course. Here's the gas pedal right here. It's about time I have the tank filled.
He just said he was from very far away.
He did, huh? Well, maybe he doesn't like to talk about where he's from. With the looks of his outfit, I'd say he's raised in a private school of some sort.
Oh, Grandpa, if he just got into town and can't pay the rent until he gets a job or something,
Well, what do you say, young man? What do you think of the room?
You will let me live here? With you?
Well, sure. That's why we had the sign up. That's why you came here, wasn't it?
Not exactly.
Derek, I was just talking to Grandpa. Well, if you don't have the rent money right away, that could wait until he gets a job, couldn't it, Grandpa?
Why, sure. That's all right with me, Betty. But then if he doesn't like the room?
I like it here. Very much. I would like to stay.
Fine. I'll go out and take down the sign. You can use the phone to have your bags brought over.
My bags? I have nothing else.
No other clothes or anything?
We were not allowed to. I mean, my uniform is all I have.
Gosh, you've got to have more than that. Bud left some of his clothes in the closet, Grandpa. Couldn't Derek use some of them?
Of course, my dear. Bud wouldn't mind a bit, I'm sure.
Oh, golly, that's Joe. Put on whatever you like from the closet, Derek. I'll be right back. Make yourself at home.
Hi there, Joe. Hi, Gramps. Betty, I'm afraid I can't make the swimming date. Not till later, anyway. Got a sudden assignment for the paper.
Oh, gosh, what now, Joe?
I have a list of folks to interview. Say they saw a new flying saucer last night.
Sounds like it might take keep you all day.
I hope not. I'll call you as soon as I get through, okay?
Okay, Joe.
I guess a reporter's life can be pretty hectic. You never know when a news story will break.
I was just thinking. Maybe Derek would like to go swimming if you let us borrow the car.
Betty would have that. If you don't think Alice would mind.
You don't know Alice. I won't be able to keep them apart.
Hey, what's going on in town anyway, mister? Convention or something?
What?
Well, those clothes you're wearing. I talked to a guy this morning who was wearing the same kind of outfit.
Maybe the guy you're looking for, huh?
You spoke to him? What did he tell you? Where did he go?
Hey, what's the matter with you? Hey, take your hands off me.
You will tell me what he said to you.
Oh, why should I? Hey, who do you think you are, anyway?
Answer me, or I destroy you.
He came in with a dog tag. Wanted to know about the address, and I told him how to find it.
Where? Where did you send him?
It was an address on Willow Crest Drive. 1243, I think.
Tell me how to get there.
Just drive down there about 3 blocks. That's Willow Crest. 1243. It's only a few doors up.
You don't have to put the brake on so hard, Derek. That is, unless you want us to go through the windshield every time.
I have never piloted a vehicle like this before. I will try again.
This time, pull in there. That's Alice's house. Oh, much better.
Wait, Betty.
Yes, Derek. What is it?
When I came to your place, it was because of...
Yes.
I had just arrived here. I did not know where else to go, but everything was so strange to me.
I'm glad you came. So is Grandpa. Without any family or friends, you wouldn't like it at a hotel or any place like that. Come on. I hope Alice can dig up some swim trunks for you.
Stranger.
Joe couldn't make it, Alice. I talked Derek into coming along. Derek, this is Alice.
Derek? Hey, I like that. Come on in, the water's fine.
Look, we need a pair of swim trunks. I couldn't find any at my house.
No problem at all. He can wear a pair of my father's. The folks are gone today, and so are the servants. We have the whole place to ourselves.
Where are the trunks?
Hanging up right over there.
They look a little large for you, Derek.
Well, maybe you better put them on with some clothespins, too, just in case.
I guess it's safe to try them on anyway. Over there at the bathhouse. What was that?
Don't worry, I'll get it.
It is what I wanted to tell you about. The reason I came to your place when I did not know where else to go.
Heck, I thought it was a 50-cent piece at least.
That looks like... It is. It's Sparky's. Sparky's dog tag. Where on earth did you find it?
When I first arrived, I was with some others. One of them destroyed a small creature. Later, I found that among the remains.
You mean somebody killed Sparky? Oh, no, Derek, it can't be true. Why would anyone want to kill Sparky?
Betty, I'm sorry.
Tell me who did it, Derek.
They are gone now. Only I remained.
But I don't understand. Where is Sparky? Will you take me to where it happened?
I'll get dressed and come with you.
No, Alice, please. You stay here. We'll see you later.
so Derek didn't come into town alone. If you're looking for him, he isn't here now. He and Betty, that's my granddaughter, they went over to the Woodwards. Why don't you go on over there? No doubt they'd be glad to have you join in the fun.
Yes. How do I go there?
The Woodwards are straight on down the street about 3 miles, just before you get to the park. Got the biggest house in the block down there. You can't miss it. Where are you fellas from, anyway? Don't believe I've seen uniforms like yours before. Military secret, eh? Well, it doesn't matter. Derek didn't say where he's from either. Don't let me keep you. You're probably anxious to see him.
Where is he, Derek? You don't mean those old bones. You can see they've been here for a very long time.
No. It was among these remains that I found the metal inscription.
This couldn't be Sparky. I know. He must have been here and his collar tag fell off, that's all.
You are not familiar with the focusing disintegrator ray?
The what?
It projects an isolated beam which separates the molecules of living material in chain reaction. All but the solids, the skeletal braces.
Horrible. And you mean Sparky? But...
Over there is what happened when the same beam was aimed at me. It missed, and that is what is left.
Good heavens, Derek. You've got to explain it to me. Why were they doing this? Where were they from? How did you...
Betty, tell me, what is the most advanced form of transportation that you know?
What do you mean? What's that got to do with it?
Please, tell me, Betty.
Airplanes. Jet airplanes, I guess. Why?
And where do they go? From where to where?
To anywhere in the world.
And that's all?
Where else is there to go?
I shouldn't have brought you here.
Is it about a new secret weapon? Something you and the others invented, and then they turned against you?
It is something like that. I guess I should try to find someone I can explain it to.
Maybe Professor Simpson at the college. He's head of the science department. He will... What is it, Derek?
Betty, when you learn where I'm from, well, you may not understand, but I hope it will not make any difference between us, because...
I don't care where you're from. I don't understand all this, but somehow I feel I've always known you. That we've never been apart.
Let us go to the professor you speak of.
We have to pass the house first, so I can change.
What was that? Did you hear a sound?
No. Only the wind. What sort of sound?
Nothing. Imagination alarmed me. Come, let us be on our way.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
You are alone?
Could be.
Where are the others? The ones who were with you?
Why do you want to know that?
Tell me where they are.
Say, who are you anyway?
Never mind. Just tell me.
Well, they left here. They're gone.
Where did they go?
I think you better get out of here before I call the police.
You will call no one. You will do as I say.
That's what you think, mister.
I said you will call no one.
asleep, so I left a note so he'll know where we went. If I know Grandpa will be back before he even wakes up.
Joe, Betty there?
No, she and Derek went on over to the Woodward's pool. You can probably reach her over there.
Derek? Who's Derek?
Oh, you haven't met him yet, have you? He rented Bud's old room this morning. Seems like a nice fellow.
Oh? Well, the reason I called, I wanted to tell Betty I stumbled onto a double murder story that may keep me longer, but... Well, after I get the story into the paper, I'll go on over to Alice's and see her there.
A double murder, Joe? When was it? Where?
We're not sure yet, Gramps. There's only a couple of skeletons. We'll know more when the coroner gets here.
We're gonna get busy now, Gramps. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Joe! Joe, I just found a note. Joe! Hello, hello. By golly, you missed them at the pool, huh? Sure am sorry. Betty left me a note. Now they've gone over to the college to see Professor Simpson.
Hello. Where can we find Professor Simpson?
This is his office, but he hasn't come in yet.
Well, let's wait for him at the faculty parking lot. It's just around the building.
You may wait here if you like.
No, thank you. We'll wait outside.
Good morning, Hilda.
Oh, good morning, Professor Simpson.
Have the aptitude questionnaires come in?
They're probably still in mimeographing. I'll go down and see if they're ready.
That's Professor Simpson's office. The third door down. He's head of the science department.
Well, that looks like Professor Simpson's car right there. He must be somewhere else on campus. We better go back to his office and wait.
Hello? This is Simpson, science department. I
Put that down.
What is the meaning of this?
Do as I say.
Who are you?
Where is he? The one who came with information for you.
Who? You are making some mistake.
I am making no mistake. Where did he go? Out there?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You will speak to no one else.
Disintegrator.
Then, whoever killed Sparky... But you said they'd gone.
For some reason they were to stop me. Somehow we were traced here. I want you to get in your vehicle and go to a place where you will be safe.
But how could they... Grandpa. I left a note for Grandpa. They must have... Oh, Derek.
I will go to your place.
No, they may be waiting for you there. I can call Grandpa.
Child, what's the matter?
Grandpa, was somebody there? Somebody you told we were at the college?
Oh, yes, a friend of Derek's.
Did he find you okay?
He's a murderer. He killed Professor Simpson, Grandpa. He's after Derek, and he's probably on the way back to the house right now.
Murderer? But are the police...
Don't argue, Grandpa. Just get out of there. We're going to the City Hall police station right now. Meet us there.
Don't worry about me, Betty. I'll leave right away. Goodbye, honey.
I better call the police and let them know we're coming.
With what weapons are they equipped?
With guns. Why?
Guns that emit what?
Bullets? What do you mean?
Bullets. Centuries-old invention of yours.
Hello, operator. Give me the police department. Hurry.
Betty, tell me how to go there. I want you to go somewhere else where you will be safe.
We're safer than the City Hall. The police said they're going to have armed guards waiting for us on the front steps. I told them we'd be right there. Let's hurry.
Did they return here? Tell me. I have no reason to harm your granddaughter, but if you do not tell me, I'll...
You can kill Derek?
Why should you care about him?
Why shouldn't I? Why do you want to kill him?
It is important only that he leave here, that I return him to where he belongs.
Where is that?
From where he escaped. I need not harm anyone if you tell me where he is. If you do not, there will be many deaths. Beginning with you, now.
He's not here, he's in the center of the city.
Where? Take me there. You will pilot the vehicle. Go. Be swift.
Alice? Betty? Anybody here? Holy mackerel.
You think the tip might have been a phony, Mac?
Don't think so, Harry. The girl who called seemed to know what she was talking about.
Not a call, Mac. Joe Rogers, reporter on the Daily News. He's on the way over. Found another skeleton. Only this time at the bottom of a swimming pool.
The City Hall is just up ahead in the next block. Oh, I hope Grandpa's there waiting for us safe and sound.
What are you doing? Be silent. Continue ahead.
He's after me, not you.
He must have slipped off that way. Come on.
Stay under cover.
Betty, thank the Lord you're safe. I just came from Alice's. There was a skeleton in the pool.
Alice? Oh, no. We came to meet The murderer came in the car with him.
What? But how did you get mixed up in this?
Since he killed Sparky out by the old mine. He's an insane killer, Joe.
And he forced Gramps to drive here? Where is Gramps? Is he okay?
Yes, well, there he is trying to get across the street.
You stay put. I'll go over and help him across.
What are you doing down here? Go into the building. That is the safest place.
Here on the sidewalk, drops of blood.
Betty, go into the building.
Derek.
Give me the weapon you have, Derek. Slowly. One sudden move and I slay you both.
Derek, do as he says.
Get in! You will take me to a man of surgery to remove the metal pellets from my flesh.
That is not possible.
Yes, we must. We must do as he says. I know a doctor's office. We'll take him there.
She is very wise. Now go!
That's the way it happened. Next thing I knew, he was trying to fire out the window at Betty and Derek. I swerved the car and... Say, where is Betty?
That's funny. She must be around someplace.
But the car's gone. They must have left without me.
Well, don't worry, Gramps. You'll get an escort home. I'm going to phone the story into the paper and then drive out to the old mine Betty mentioned.
The old mine? What's out there?
I don't know. That's where she said Sparky was killed by the guy.
Sparky, our dog? She didn't tell me about that.
Hey, Mac, over here. Blood spots on the sidewalk. And where's that car that was parked here?
That's it. That's how the killer got away. In our car? Then Betty and Derek, they must have been kidnapped. You've got to do something. You've got to find them.
This is it, Derek. That's Dr. Brandt there. He looks like he's leaving.
Stop him! Block his path!
Is there some emergency? I have a house call to make. Office hours don't begin for another hour.
Go inside, all of you.
I say, what is this?
He's holding a gun on us, Dr. Brandt. We had to bring him here. He wants bullets removed.
I see. I'm afraid I cannot be of any help. You will need hospital facilities for anything else.
Be silent and get inside. We will remove the pellets here. Now.
Leave these people alone, Thor. Where is our ship? I will take you there.
No, it is gone. Do as I say.
Derek, please. Doctor, you must try.
You will have to lie down here. I will prepare an anesthetic. Pain will be great.
I will not be drugged. Simply remove the pellets. Both of you, sit there. I shall keep you covered. Take heed. One treacherous move and they pay with their lives. Now proceed.
Tell me why you have been searching for me. It must have been important for you to have
the gargant to be raised here. You could not be allowed to run free.
But the specimen reaction was negative.
It was verified positive after you escaped. The captain should have let me kill you when I had a chance.
And why didn't he? I saw him stop you when you fired at me.
Because he just learned that you were the son of our leader.
Why did you fire at me in the city?
Your life or death was put in my hands. A traitor does not deserve to be our next leader.
The only reason you do not fire now is to force attention to your wounds. When that is done...
Proceed!
Antiseptic must be applied to your wounds, and you will need bandages. I'll get them. He should be completely helpless.
Derek, what was he talking about? The Gargon to be raised here, and you, the son of the leader. You said you didn't know your father.
I did not know the things he said. I thought they'd gone. I wanted to forget them forever. But now I know. They plan to return.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm going with you.
Where?
To the old mine shaft.
How did you hear about that?
The old fellow inside. He's been telling us everything he could think of. Mentioned that's where you were going.
Okay, hop in. Maybe something will turn up out there.
You're in here. I know you are. I'll find you.
My nurse, Miss Moss. She'll be arriving for office hours.
I can hear you. I can hear you breathing. You cannot escape me. I'll find you. I'll find you. I'll find you. I'll find you.
Grant's office.
Miss Moss, thank heavens I've reached you. This is Dr. Grant.
Where are you, Doctor? There's an emergency patient here. I've done all I can.
Listen, Miss Moss. He's a murderer.
He held hostage at the gunpoint to force me to remove bullets. We were fortunate in escaping. You must get out of there.
A murderer?
We're sending the police, but if you treated him, he could revive at any moment.
Yes, Doctor. I'll leave immediately.
You will come with me. Put that down.
Miss Moss, what is it?
Drop it, I said.
What do you want?
You will help me to escape. Go out. That vehicle. Is that how you arrived?
Yes, that's my car.
Get in. You take me where I say. If you disobey, you will be killed.
The police are on the way, Dr. Brand.
It's no use. I was too late. They're gone.
Thor has escaped? But how could he? You said he would be helpless and...
Without aid. But my nurse, she didn't know. She bandaged him. Gave him an injection. He revived.
No. We've got to tell the police. They might be able to do something.
I'll tell them. I'll tell them what happened.
Don't worry, Derek. Thor will be caught. They're sure to find him eventually.
It is what I noticed coming here. The Gargan. They are small when young, but they can attain the size of this building in no more than a day.
Can't you stop them?
The only chance is to duplicate the operation of the disintegrator.
How can that be done?
The men of science here might be able to do it if they could get Thor's as a model. If only there is enough time.
You know, I don't get this guy. Animals are humans. He just seems to like killing.
There's more to it than that, Joe. There's something behind this, something we don't understand. The weapon he uses, it's unheard of. Blasting flesh right off the bone.
Look at that tree over there. Used it for target practice by the looks of it.
I don't know. Let's take a look in the old cave.
Where are we going? You've got to tell me.
It is not far now.
You can't escape. The police will find you.
Possibly they will. But barricaded in the mouth of a cave, with you as hostage and me with this...
How long do you think you can hold out that way?
Long enough. There will not be too long to wait.
Hey! Bring your flash bulbs up here. This tunnel is black as pitch.
Okay, I'll be right up.
An intruder already.
No! I won't let you kill anyone.
I see you do not value your life. He's getting away. Follow him.
No.
Dare refuse?
hurt badly?
I don't think so. Just bruised. Oh, thank heavens it's over. It was like a nightmare.
I wish it was over.
Oh, what do you mean?
Back in the cave, where he shot at me. Some kind of man-eating monster. Poor Mac, the guy I was with. I could hear the thing tearing him apart. He was dead in a few seconds.
Oh, how horrible. What could it have been?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'm afraid the nightmare has just begun.
The man guilty of these strange killings now lies mute in confinement at General Hospital, where he is being treated for minor injuries. Authorities plan to transfer him to city jail tonight. The fantastic murder weapon he used has not been located. Mystery still surrounds the disappearance of a man-eating beast said to have been in an abandoned mine shaft outside the city limits. These newsreel shots were made immediately after the city police surrounded the cave and found it completely empty. Evidence in the cave appeared to confirm the report that a monster of some sort had been shackled there, but had somehow attained strength enough to pull itself loose and escape. Groups of armed volunteers have set out in search of the creature, hoping to track it down and destroy it. Meanwhile,
Door crash just below here. If that disintegrator is down there, I'm going to find it.
Derek, I just thought. The monster that escaped from the cave. It must have been there at the same time we were. What I can't figure out is, why did it escape when it did? Why not sooner?
It would not have been large enough, but the man it consumed increased its growth rate.
Then, how big would it be now?
There is no telling. You stay here. Keep the door closed.
Go back, it's too dangerous.
We can find that thing twice as fast if we both look.
You make me angry. But I like you very much.
In a moment, the moon will come from behind a cloud. It'll be easier to see what we're looking.
Yes. The light from your moon, it will help.
My moon? Where are you from, Gary? I think I know. I think I've known for some time. You're not from this world, are you?
I did not know how to tell you.
It seems impossible to believe. You're so much like my brother, Grandpa when he was young. And to think.
We were made the same. The only difference is that we were put on places far, far apart.
What is it like where you're from?
Babies are bred and raised like livestock, parented by the most perfect specimens of our race. If you become ill, you are put to death, as are the old.
You won't be going back ever, will you?
I shall make the earth my home, and I shall never, never leave it.
moon has come from behind the cloud.
Derek. The cricket. It's
Well, sadly, it's that time. The movie has to go off. The in-flight entertainment. So on this flight, we're not going to be able to see the end of it. Well, it's not that far away. I think there's another 20 or 30 minutes, 20 minutes or so left to go. But what we're going to do now is we're coming down to the coast and we're going to be starting our descent in. So we're going to take a quick look at our flight plan again and our approach. The winds are slightly out of the west, but most of the arrivals in here come on this southern facing runway on 1-5. There's only like a VOR DME approach in from the south on runway 3 I think it is. But we're going to land from the north. Shouldn't be too bad. The winds are pretty light. So as you can see here at Tadu, we have to be at flight level 250, and then when we get to Kalar, we have to be down to flight level 10,000 feet, 18,000 feet to transition, at a max speed of 250. At Volvom, we have to be down to 230 and 4,000 feet, and then at Lobos, which is kind of like the initial fix for the ILS, we have to be 200 knots and no lower than 2,100 feet. And then we get to the ILS, and we can see here we have Lobos, and then we intercept the glide slope here at Samora, and we come down. Missed approach is a right turn out over the water, and we head back up to this waypoint, and we would get directions. At this point, we would just curve back around to Lobos and re-intercept the ILS. So that's not a problem. 3,000 feet is our intercept altitude we're going to want for that. So let's start getting the information entered in to our system. We'll do a weather from sim here, weather request, send it off. Yeah, cliffhanger. I have seen this one a couple times now. I've only got so many movies. I was enjoying your breakdown of the plot points and how it fits in with storytelling. That was a lot of fun to watch. All right, messages received. There's the MEDAR. We'll print that off and come and grab. Back to our progress page. Again, we want about 40 miles out to start that descent, so we only have about 30 miles to go. So here's the weather performance page. There we go. So the QNH is 1014. The temperature is only 17 degrees. Winds are 280 at 4, so not too worried about the bit of tailwind we're going to have. That's fine. Transition altitude is it's 10,000 here, just looking at the chart. There we go, 10,000 feet on the transition. And we're going to be going in on the ILS, and the ILS for a Cat C is 246 feet. Put that in the barrel. So that's all now entered in, and we are good to go with that. I'm going to dial in that 25,000. Now, if we come over here, we can see that it's saying, for those of you who haven't used this calculator before, it's pulling up our ground speed from what the aircraft is actually doing. It's looking at, we've told it to sync to our altitude to flight level 370, which it's done, and we want to go down to 25,000 feet. It's assuming a negative 3 degree downslope, which is the same as a regular ILS. And then it says 38 miles where to go. So how do you get 3 degrees downslope? Well, it's somewhere between 1,900 and 2,000 feet per minute is 3 degrees. So I usually set it for 2,000 feet per minute. We'll get there slightly early, but that's good if we want to do a change of speed. It gives us a little bit of room to let the aircraft lessen its descent or level off and slow down that way. Well, Eastbirds, I figured you'd have me up on like a big 75-inch TV with 5.1 surround. And that's really the way to do it, isn't it? But we've crossed over the mountains now. You can see we've got the coast here of South America. And there's the coastline, and that is the Pacific Ocean, Southern Pacific Ocean out there. So that's pretty cool. Again, when we hit 40, we'll begin our descent and get ourselves ready to go in. So we're still on 122.8. There is still no ATC up. It's a shame. I was kind of hoping we'd have ATC down here. I don't see any anywhere in South America. I've seen it in Brazil. There's some in the Caribbean right now, but nothing where we are. Again, a bit of a shame there. So there's 40 miles. We can get ourselves ready to go down now. So we're going to start that descent. I'm not doing an open descent. Like I said, I'm going to tag it for 2,000 feet. And we're going to control our speed. We're going to set 270. Lima area traffic, TAM 5556, leaving flight level 370 for the Tatu 2 arrival into Lima. So, down we go. So our outer fuel tank's cross-feeding, so we're pulling fuel from the outer wing tanks into the inner wing tanks. See, our fuel level reading is 2.1. So I think I might have to adjust my fuel back to 8. Positive 8. Fuel production is saying negatives. It won't be negatives, but I think it is going to be less than we should have. Again, it was saying we should have 21.16 at the end of the flight. We're going to be below that, so I may have to. Maybe I'll go up to positive 9 or positive 10. Try that. See how that goes. It's nice the weather is cleared up. The problem with Mach speed is a reference speed. It's not an absolute speed. So Mach is dependent on air pressure. So as you increase air pressure, the given value for a Mach is lower. The thinner the air, the higher. Sorry, it's the other way around. Thicker the air, the higher your actual speed. So the Mach decreases. So if I put in 270, it's going to hold 270 all the way down. It doesn't matter what air pressure I'm at. If I was to put, say, Mach 0.74, as the aircraft descended, the air gets thicker. In order to maintain that same Mach, which of course is referencing the speed of sound through air, the aircraft has to go faster. So what ends up happening is you end up accelerating. So at 37,000 feet, Mach 7.4 may be 268 knots. At 20,000 feet, Mach 7.4 might be 310 knots. So that it just keeps increasing your speed, and as you descend, when you finally switch over, you can find yourself going very fast when you're trying to control your speed. That's why I switch over, just so that I can maintain a constant speed all the way down. Because if you didn't pay attention and you went all the way down to close to transition levels, like at 10,000 foot, and you got to slow down or there's a speed restriction and you got to hit it, you find yourself going 40, 50, 60 knots faster than you think you should, that you think you are, because of that. So Mach is great for cruise. It's sort of irrelevant for climb, but for descent, I always switch over just to maintain that speed. And that's what I used to have to do before I could switch that gauge over and lock it in at a set speed. If you remember a while ago, you couldn't do that until you were below like 25,000 or something. I just had to keep dialing back. I just watch, and every couple thousand feet, I just drop it by 10 knots. This way I can just lock it in and kind of ignore it. So that's good. So we're coming up to a tattoo now. How are we doing altitude-wise? There's 27.8, 3 miles to go. So we're going to be slightly high. Yeah, again for cruise.
To assist with customs at our destination, flight attendants
It's great.
will begin handing out forms momentarily.
So we're going to carry on down to 10,000.
Forms and keep them with you for presentation upon arrival.
For cruise, it's fine. And in fact, controllers will give that to you. They'll ask what your Mach number is, and if they want you to speed up and slow down, they'll say, go to Mach from 7.4 to 7.0 or whatever, and they'll do it that way. But
safe traffic. Down to 180, descending to flight 370, down to flight 180, for the attitude to arrival for Lima, Ireland, from runway 15.
So there's Nick starting his descent behind us. Yeah, so that's just the way I do it, and it manages to hold speeds. And I mean, Nick and I have flown often enough together that by setting speeds like this, I know he knows I do this, and he does it as well. And it keeps our spacing, especially if we were a little bit tighter. We'd be able to keep that spacing, and he's not going to come roaring up behind me and stuff, or I'm not going to go speeding up behind somebody in front of me. So it just keeps a constant speed. But again, beautiful views there. Clouds over the mountains. I love mountains. South America, a place I've never been. Got to get down there at some point. So we were above 25,000 at a tattoo, which is what we wanted. It will show whatever I put in. I hit the button and I changed it to 270. It actually, I think if you go into the crew, the selected portion, see it's showing managed there because I've switched it over. It might switch it. Not exactly sure. Oh, is it? Oh, see, I keep forgetting this. There we go. Thanks for the reminder. as I was saying, what a beautiful view we have out the window here. Yeah, it's the hazards of having things on another screen. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't pick up that it's still up there. Usually it's Nick that comes on and just types Navigraph in the chat, and yeah, I pick up on that. Of course, we got the other view. Other than now, all we can see is ocean since we're right along the coast. And basically, that's what we're doing at this point, is following the coast all the way down. All right, so there's 21,000. I think it's time we will get the seatbelt signs on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelt.
There's Nick. Alright, there's 20,000 feet. So MCDU landing performance information is entered. TCAS we will now set to below. Don't have it yet. Approach briefing is completed. Nav aids been reviewed. I'm going to turn on the radar. NTI's not required. EFIS constraints. Yeah, we can put the constraints up. Seatbelt signs are on. Barrow was 1014, I believe. Yep. Ooh. 1014. So we're actually going to set that now. So if we go in here and go 1014 and click back, that way when I do switch it over, it'll be already preset. So it's just landing lights and wing lights. I'll throw the taxi light on as well, just because it's easier. I don't forget it on the overhead panel. $16,700 feet. Very nice out there. They are calling for, I don't know if this is going to be modeled in here or not, the current weather shows overcast at 500 feet with fog, or mist as they're calling it. And the vertical visibility and stuff is not that great, so yeah, this could get interesting. Does seem to be a lot of low cloud down there along the water, so maybe. There's 13,000 feet. So we're 30 miles from Kalar. And we're gonna have to slow down to 250. And then we gotta be down 4,000 feet at Volvum, and then 230, it's showing it as well. So we're getting there. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna hit 10,000 shortly. So I'm gonna turn this back to 250. So we're gonna hit 10,000 feet before we hit Kalar, so we'll use that as our slowdown. Of course, the one thing is once we get down low and slow, I use open descent if I'm just dropping a couple thousand feet, just to get down as fast as possible. Usually on like a multi-turn RNAV approach or something. And then use the speed brakes as well if I have to. So you can see even when with the engines at idle, I'm already up to 280. She's just slowly crept up those 10 knots, which is fine. She's going to level out shortly. And then we'll be good. So we're definitely ahead of schedule. I'm showing 30 minutes to go, according to PAX. Oh, okay. That'd be cool, esports. We're not that far out. In fact, I may get the ding to tune in my radio according to my SkyTrack. I hope it doesn't do it when I'm close to the ground. Got to do that in maybe 8 minutes. There's the engines coming up as we've slowed down to 10,000 feet now. I am going to switch over. 2014. It's pretty close to standard, so there's not much of an altitude change. Dial into standby. Or 2014, 1014. There we go. Yeah, so our course takes us out here over this little bay here, and on the other side you can see that low-level cloud. That's where we're headed. Very interesting. Hey, we can actually see Nick back there. He's descending in behind us. No, these liveries are kind of special ones. You should get the generic Latam ones though. Back on board. So the next altitude we're going to want is, we've got a 4,000 foot. And then 230 knots once we start the descent. Or, well, we get within 5 miles of Volvom anyway. That's our maximum. Volvom? Volmam. And then Lobus. Very deserty out here. Even down by the coast. I know there's some pretty intense deserts, the Atacama and stuff, once you get up into the elevations, but looks very dry down here on this side. I guess the prevailing winds in the southern hemisphere are from the east, so all the water is dumping on the other side, which is where you've got the Brazilian rainforests and all that stuff, and then it'd be pretty dry over here. Interesting. Alright. So we've crossed over, we're gonna head down again. Take her down a little more gently. 1,800 feet. And I want to keep the speed down, so we're going to deploy a little bit of speed brake. Let's try to keep the speed back. Well, it's interesting. We were both running the same livery pack and the same VRM files, but during the Australia tour, I could never get his Qantas to show up, so...
We have begun our final descent into your destination. Flight attendants
seems to be a hit and miss at sometimes.
Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
Alright, so just controlling that speed with the speed brakes. So it's funny, vPilot's actually showing both the old and the new ICAO codes. Not sure how long ago they changed that. Anyway, there's the two of us coming in. There's an American Airlines coming in from Miami. And there's a... Oh, he already left. I saw him go. There's a Air Canada Airbus A330 heading to Toronto, but he passed us a little while ago. So we're 15 miles out. There's that low cloud. So I'm going to dial in that 230 speed. I'm also going to activate approach mode. Turn on the landing systems on both sides. Make sure we got all our lights on. There we go. And you can see turning on the approach mode, it changed our course. At least in the display anyway, it's still following the line, but I don't know, it's weird at times. So instead of going to the next waypoint, it's gone to the one after that. So getting down to 4,000 feet. Right over that bay. There's that low level of cloud. Speed's coming down to 230. So we're now level. Speed brake is retracted. As soon as we pass Volmam, we're going to descend down to 2100 for the intercept. And we'll go into manage mode as we do that. So, beginning descent into manage mode. So we're slowing down and then we'll start our descent. KLM standing there plane spotting. I wish you could do, although I hear it's coming, the old tower view. I hear they're bringing that back, as well as a flyby cam. Should be able to get that as well, so that'll be good to get those back. Because they were kind of staples back in the day. Alright, so let's confirm our ILS frequency is in the RadNav. 101.7, and I'm also going to tune in the beacon 116.9. Oops. So she put it in there, 116.9. We'll go back to the performance page. Turn the VOR on. There we go. 27 miles from the airport. 25 miles from the ILS. The beacon's at the other end of the airport. Sort of speed's coming in. Ah, looks like the cloud is cleared. Well, there's a little bit more coming.
2,500.
Seem to be getting below it. The airport's on that chunk of land that's sticking out there. So Lobos, we had to be between 4,000 and 2,100. We're going to be at 2,100 when we get it. That's fine. So we're at 19 miles. Around 15 miles, we'll go into approach mode. Pick up the ILS. Lots of nice little islands out here. Down under that cloud layer. There's 3 miles to go. Alright, there's 16 miles. We'll go on approach mode. Glide slope and localizer are both showing. Lima area traffic. TAM 5556 established on the ILS runway 15, 15 miles out. Yeah, everyone on VatSim is on the same server. So if he's on VatSim, we'll see him. We're not on multiplayer in Microsoft Flight Sim. We're on VatSim. Pulling up, we got a high speed exit Charlie, so I'll probably use that. So I'm gonna go low auto brake, all lights are on, seatbelts and signs, so it's just flaps, gear, and that's it. So Spoilers are armed. And yeah, Nick's behind me. So I'm going to keep my speed up. Make sure I don't end up crowding Nick too much. So I'll keep 180 knots until about 5 miles out. Currently 8. Glides.
Traffic, TAM 1880 is overhead Loga, 17 miles from
So, looks like Nick's about 10 miles behind me, which is a good spacing. I'll be able to get off on either Charlie or Delta probably before he's down. So there's 1 notch of flaps going in. The glide slope coming in. And we are 6 miles out. Glide slopes captured. Flaps 2. Gear coming down. Oh, lots of little fishing boats off the end of pier there. Set 3,000 in for our missed approach.
At TAM 1880 is
cabin check. Flaps 3. Lima area traffic, TAM 5556 established on the ILS, runway 15, 2.2 miles out Lima. And flaps full. Established on the glide slope, established on the ILS. Runway looks clear.
500.
500 feet.
400. 300. 200. 100 above. 100.
Landing, although we're porpoising a little bit.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Down. Nose down. Reverse on. Oh, she porpoised there at the end. Reverser's off. Going down to Gulf. Lima area traffic, TAM 5556 is clear, runway 15. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. The local time is 11:32 a.m. and it's currently about 22 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items
Get the
may
radars.
activate during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us and we hope to see you again.
Stand by. Alright. Let's go find a place to park. Sending over to the main terminal. Go here up. I'm not sure which one this is. Foxtrot 1. Oh, there's the KLM. Oh, looks like somebody's taking off. You can see, I think I see Nick coming in. Or maybe that was Nick landing. I don't see any other traffic. Yeah, we kind of floated her a bit there coming in. Unfortunately. Kill the taxi light. We're going to go into gate 19 here. There we go. Jump outside so we can see if we get parked properly. There we go. So, parking brake's on. Get them to bring the jetway over. Very nice. Alright, so we are parked. Parking brake is set. Nav aids are off. Landing systems off. Flight directors are off. FCU is reset. Auto thrust and autopilot are off. We're set to arc and arc 10 and arc 10. External power is on. And engine masters coming off. Fuel pumps. Go away. Fuel pumps coming off. Beacon light is off. Signs are off. External power, of course, is running. Transponder is off. Open the cockpit door. First Officer Roger can go say goodbye to all the passengers. And we are going to jump outside. Ah, and there's Nick right beside us. Very nice. And over here in the KLM, we got Eastbirds Lee came in to say hi. Good to see you. And as always, if you want to join us on these flights, I do put the information up on the channel a couple days in advance. Destination, airport, originating airport and the time. We're on VatSim. Feel free to join us on the streams. Thank you very much. Enjoy your time in Peru. We'll see you next week when we head off on the next leg of our South America tour. Yes, this is the Add-On airport. We will see you all next time. Bye for now.